G'day folks, and welcome back to the channel for part number 10 of my Beginner's Fire Pets Cabalist playthrough. This episode, we are heading into the Ashes of Melmoth expansion. Now, we'll probably get up to about Barrowholm, if I had to guess, but we've got some really juicy monster infrequents coming up in this section. We have the best farming area in the game. We have a medal, a helmet, and a belt as monster infrequent items. And also, once we have enough reputation, we have a chest and a pair of shoulders that we can get from the Coven. That is going to really juice up our skeletons, or, well, I mean, they're already 26 out of 16, but it'll ease some pressure on some other slots. So really good stuff coming in this episode, and probably the next one or two as well. With that said, let's get on with it now. I just want to have a quick look here, make sure I don't see any restored shrines or not restored shrines with big crosses on them. I think I got most of them. Alright, let's head on over to the Barrowholm village and start our trip through, I guess it's a jungle, a forest? I don't know, the Gloomwald. We're going to head through the Gloomwald. And then into the swamps. Now, the first monster infrequent we're going to be on the lookout for during this period here is the Wendigo Gaze, which is a medal. And it drops only from Wendigos, and you're very unlikely to find it from any Wendigo that isn't a hero or a boss spawn. Now, later, there will be very easy 3 boss spawns every single time you re-enter the game, so we'll be able to farm it very easily later. On our first little trip through, it's going to be a little rarer, a little harder to find, but we will make do. So Draugr the Keeper gets got, and we've just found the Ancestor Relic. This is the relic that I've been looking for. So, what do I need to make this? Now, I think it was Savagery. It wasn't. I need Hysteria, a Mark of Mogdrogan, a Severed Claw, and 3 Ancient Hearts. Let's go see what we've got. This is the end game, as it were, for relics for this build. If we have a look at the item there, bonus to all pets, a bunch of crit damage, 100% elemental damage, which is fire damage, 10% total speed, and this is just on all the time. You also get 28% all damage, 8% defensive ability, some vitality resistance. That's kind of neither here nor there. And the other thing is this is a +1 to Shaman skills relic, which is not great, but, I mean, this one also doesn't have +1 Necro, so that'll be fine. Alright. You know what, let's go ahead and eat that. Mark of Mogdrogan is going to come from the Rovers, and I don't think I have it yet. No, I do not. I do, however, have the ability to craft a Severed Claw, and let's see how many Ancient Hearts I have. I may not be able to make this just yet. I have got 5. Alright, we are good to go. If I didn't have these, there is a blacksmith, which I don't think I pointed out on the way through, but if you head to the Gates of Necropolis and head up to around about here on the map, there will be a blacksmith, and he will allow you to exchange, I think it's Blood of Chthon with Ancient Hearts, with Tainted Brain Matter, with Blood of Chthon. It's something like that. There's those 3 you can kind of swap in between. So if you're ever short on blood, hearts, or brains, you can go to that particular blacksmith and you'll be able to swap them. I don't need to though, which is nice. I do, however, need to get a Hysteria, and I need to go see the Rovers. I will probably need to do a little bit of farming for the Mark of Mogdrogan. I have a feeling it's a bunch of seals. Chthonic seals of binding. But I guess we're about to find out. And I've gone to the wrong one, haven't I? I have, yes. It's the one just south of Cronley. I'm also not sure if I'll have the reputation for this. This is still quite early. But we will find out. Here we go. So I need Mark of Mogdrogan. There we go. 12 Aether shot. Okay. Well, that's going to be fun. I don't know if I have that. Let's go find out. Now, being level 46, I believe the Warden doesn't scale up past 42-ish. That may have changed, though, so we will see. Where are we? Mogdrogan. So I need 11 Aether shards. And 3 more ward stones. Let's get the ward stones. 1, 2, 3. And there is no way I'm crafting that many. Okay, so we are going to go and do a run through the Warden's laboratory. Or maybe 2. We'll see. 11 shards probably is going to take 2 or 3 runs. The question is, am I too high level for this? Level 31, it's not looking good. Yeah, nope. Alright, so we can't do this one. Let's head over here to the Arcovian foothills. This is another good place to farm crystals when you haven't kind of ran through a good area to get to. These ones will work. You'll get 4 or 5 crystal clusters each time you run through here. Also, some heroes apparently, which I'll take. Now, I said 4 or 5. Turns out what I meant by 4 or 5 was actually 2. So I'm just going to exit and come back in and do that again. However, that's not particularly fun, so maybe instead of doing that, maybe what we do is we do that again, and then I'll go show you a few other places, because there are actually some better places than this to farm. This one I like because it's, you know, it's within spitting distance of the rift, and you usually get, well, there's 3. We're going to get 4 or 5. Nope, just 3 this time. Which, honestly, 3 is fine. So, I would exit, come back in, do this again. A little bit annoying to have to resummon all the pets again, though. So, another good place to do this, and I say good place, maybe not the best place. If you're worried about dying in Aether Fire, maybe skip this one. But there are a lot of crystals over here in the Withering Fields, if you can survive the Aether Fire long enough to get through. And a lot of this, you don't have to stand in the goop. You can just send your pets over there. They'll kill it. You can run over, grab it, and then get off the Aether goop. And then we can just keep walking. Oh, apparently I haven't been out here. There's a devotion shrine out here too, so this will work out well. I do like devotion shrines. Like, just here. You can stand here. I'm not taking damage from the floor. These crystals are both dead. And there we go. Got it with barely any damage taken. Now, the best place in the game to get Aether crystals is Port Valbury. However, Port Valbury is also Port Valbury. And nobody wants to go to Port Valbury unless they have to. So I'm not going to go there. However, like I said, there is a devotion shrine in this part of the world, which I haven't picked up yet. Now, I did mention that this is a very dangerous area, and the section with the devotion shrine is by far the most dangerous part of this, assuming you're not counting Port Valbury, which is kind of another area. So this little section here, very, very tame, I guess we'll call it. This part here, quite tame. Once you get up around this area, that's when the real sort of trouble, I guess we'll call it, really, really kicks in. Can I get that Aether cluster? Yes, I can. You know what? It's definitely time to not be on there. This is why this is why I said it's probably not the best idea. But that's okay. We'll let that crystal live. Go somewhere a little safer. Just over here, we'll start getting a few more, and we are going to go and do the boss fight at the end. There is a... I forget what he's called, but it's a big crystal guy who's kind of tethered to the floor. You fight him for a bit, he untethers, and then you kill him. I'm just going to go back for what I thought was better loot than that. There is also... well, there's 2 ways to get in here. The first way is through this crystal and then through. And you can go that way. As you can see, you run straight up there on the Aether goop. Whichever way you choose to go, though, you want to get off here and let your health regenerate. So let's just go over here. We're going to fight these. I'm going to show the more dangerous way. The other thing you can do is just send your pets over there. They'll kill it, and then you can move skill your way through it. This little bit here is a little bit safer, and we can advance kind of safely. Apparently I nearly died at some point. Shh, we don't talk about that. I am going to skip Lightning Strike for now. I kind of want the bird to just sort of hang around, provide a little bit of healing, and the aura. Honestly, I could probably do without the healing, but it's 1 point, and I don't really want the bird attacking because it doesn't do a huge amount of damage anyway. Alright, there's another crystal. There's another one, I think, up there, and then there's 1 or 2 more over this way as well. Looks like we do have a totem, which, if you know me, you know I love my totems. However, we're going to go kill the boss first. So, this is the Herald of the Flame. The only thing you need to be careful of with the Herald of the Flame is this goop he puts on the floor. Pretty much every time you move, he's going to refresh it. So just keep kind of moving around. And we want to kill him off pretty quickly if we can. So let's see if we can't chunk him down a little bit. Oh, the pets are all dead. The pets are all dead. No. It's fine, we resummon everything. Recurse. And we get him in. Like I said, you do have to watch out for the goop on the floor. It's going to be semi-regular underneath your feet. And even if it's not under your feet, it'll be under your pet's feet. And it's just painful. Alright. Let's eat that blueprint. We have an Exalted stash here, which you'll love to see, although that is kind of whatever. Lightning Barrage is no good for us, but it's fine. The other thing is there is a quest here to collect the abandoned cannons, which we will claim for the Black Legion. Then we have the Devotion Shrine, which, I mean, obviously, yes. There we go, got another devotion point that I'll probably forget to spend. And we have an Ancient Aether Warp Totem, which, let's be honest, this is a little bit risky. Let's do it. It's actually not super risky with a decent pet build. This is very offensive pet build, so things are going to die relatively quickly, and by things I mean our skeletons. But we maybe got some pants upgrades there. I don't think that that offhand is going to be any good. By offhand I mean dagger. It's actually not horrible. +1 to necro skills, pretty decent, although not for this build as we need the Burning Blade, but that's not horrible. If I was playing an Aether necro, I would quite happily put that on. Even a Vitality necro, I would happily put that on. That's a very nice weapon. And the pants are actually kind of okay. What we would get? Poison, which I need. Elemental, which I kind of don't need. And I would be losing Pierce, so I'd be 1% under on Pierce and I'd be fine. So I might actually wear these. Let's go and take them over there. And these shoulders are also possible, although it will depend. When we get to level 65, I will definitely not still be wearing those because we will have the Coven shoulders with +3 to raise skeletons on it. Okay, I didn't forget. We are getting the front foot of the tortoise. So, we're now done on the tortoise. And next up, we are getting the empty throne. So down here, this is going to be some crowd control resistance and some other resistances. Aether and Chaos, I believe, yep, for pets as well. So this is really nice for keeping the pets alive a little bit longer. But we are done out here. Now, I started this whole thing in order to get some Aether shards, which I have materials to make 5. So not enough. Alright, so the next good place to find Aether crystals is going to be up here at the Bloodgrove Rift. And this is another area with a lot of Aether fire on the floor. So again, if you're not happy doing the whole running through Aether fire section, you're not kind of knowledgeable, I guess we'll say, because it is a knowledge test. It's, do you know where the safe spots are? If you're not confident, go ahead and skip this one, and we'll just... I'll show you the next one as well, and even if I don't need it, we can go through the next spot. Alright, here we go. Getting a couple extras. Still haven't got a single actual shard to drop. It's all been crystals and I think 1 cluster. But that's fine. 3 crystals can be used to craft a shard. Let's go clear this out. We're not going down that way. We're going to go around here. This way is more dangerous, absolutely. But again, it's a bit of a knowledge check. If you know where you're going, then you know this area is safe. Even though you can't see it when you get onto the Aether. I keep wanting to say when you get on the creep. I've been watching too much StarCraft. But even if you don't know it's there when you start moving, if you've done this a few times before, you kind of know. You know you're going to be fine. Alright, this section down here has a few more crystals, a bunch of stuff in the way as well. Why does there have to be monsters here in my crystal farm? Piece of dynamite. There's another dynamite a little further in as well, which we could absolutely go and get. Let's drop a potion. I probably shouldn't have dropped that potion, I should have kept it, but c'est la vie, I guess. Alright, that's all of my crystals. What are we up to now? 27, I can almost make 10. I'm still a few short, but that's alright. It just means I have an incentive to go and show a few more spots. Maybe we'll go see Childred, see what he drops today. Alright, one more crystal. We'll kill Venarius here as well, why not? Whoop, I was trying to dodge that. Apparently I'm not very good at it. Alright, here we go. Now, I don't know how the floor stuff interacts with being sundered. I'm pretty sure it won't have any effect. The floor damage is not actually based on your Aether resistance or anything like that. It just chunks a bunch of your health. Getting more Aether resistance doesn't help you against it, so I'm assuming Sunder won't either. Right, so Astrakhan Mountains. Let's just have a quick look here. I kill this guy every time I come past, but I think... So he's going to be over here. Yeah, next rift. Okay. Astrakhan Road. And we'll run backwards. So yeah, we want to get over this one. Childred is actually not amazing for farming crystals. I think he usually has 4, I want to say. I want to say 4 crystals with him. Usually you want to kill him for the chance at a tainted brain matter. Which I had thought until recently. I had thought it was a 100% chance. Grimtools says it's a 100% chance. And I swear he's dropped it every time before very recent. So maybe that's a very, very recent change. Yeah, he didn't drop one there either. Oh. Maybe he did drop one. Or maybe that's from somewhere else. I don't know. If you saw that one drop, go ahead and yell out in the comments because I didn't. Alright, so this is another one. And we got... What do we get? Like 3 or 4 crystals here. Plus a chance, like I said, at that that brain matter. So this one can be okay. It's a decent run away from any kind of rifts. But it's not too bad. Alright, I'm going to go and do this totem as well because, well, you know me. Also, I'm actually a little bit lower level than I'm used to. I don't know what all I skipped, or maybe I didn't do as much farming as normal. But generally speaking, I killed the Logorian around level 48 to 50. And I think this time I killed him at 45, I want to say. So I am a little bit lower level than I'm used to at this section. It's not a problem at all. But it does mean that I can afford to kill a couple of extra totems here. Not that I actually need any of the stuff that's dropping here. Although I will eat that blueprint. There we go. Okay. Next good place to farm crystals. This is another one where the crystal is right next to the rift. So if you come down here, you have 1 Aether crystal, and then down here is the second one. Unfortunately, it is only the 2 crystals, but hey, it's 2 crystals, right? And they're right next to a rift. And then the next good place is if you go to the Gates of Necropolis, and then head over to the right, you'll find a whole bunch of ethereals, and a whole bunch... Oh, Skellies are dead. A whole bunch of ethereals. Apparently there's a totem as well. I thought the totem was kind of over this way, but there is a couple of them. So we get a whole bunch of ethereals. I will check that insulating of readiness is not horrible. I take it back, insulating is not the one I was thinking of. But yeah, those chest pieces can be quite good. Alright, pop the totem, because totem, just turn the loot off. I do like to do this just so I can see what's going on, although in this case... Alright, this is just getting silly. It really is getting silly. Spirit Crusher I'll have a look at. Is it a weapon? It's a weapon. This is another +1 to Necromancer weapons. This one actually comes with a pretty good proc on it. This is amazing for a Vitality caster. So if you know anyone who's playing a Vitality caster, let them know that I have a really good weapon for them. Just be a real shame if they were playing solo self-found. Alright, here we go. So this is the section here. You get a couple of crystals here by this ethereal obelisk. And then if you head up this ramp, there's a few more as well. So this one's not the best farm, but it is a decent density of crystals. And you can get to it kind of okay in terms of how long it takes. Let's get another skelly boy out. Maybe stop standing in Aether goop as well. That might be an idea. This one's going to drag itself out of the ground. Yep, there it is. Oh, Skelly's dead again. That's fine. We summon some more. The good thing about the raised skeleton skill is as long as you can summon them faster than the enemy can kill them, you will always have a full army. Okay, this is pretty much it. So this little section here, this is what you're looking for. You may find a few extras kind of scattered around the place, especially kind of over this way. But this is where I come to if I'm looking for crystals. Speaking of, we now have enough. So let's head on back to Homestead for some reason. Don't know why I'm going to Homestead particularly. But let's head to Homestead. We'll vendor all the junk that I just picked up from those totems. We'll turn this quest in, which... here we go. If we just have a look at the walls here, there's nothing special about the walls. And then the cannons are secured and Homestead gets their very own guns on the wall. So this is really cool. Don't see those cannons very, very often because a lot of the time I will tell you to not go ahead and do the quest because it is a little bit dangerous. I mean, you saw how quickly I got very low on health when I went out there, so you can kind of see how risky it is. And why I don't usually recommend doing it. Alright, everything is nicely sold. We've got everything else. We need a shard. 1, 2, 3, 11. And now we can get a Mark of Mogdrogan. Now this is a very good boot component. 10% move speed, a little bit of regen, and 5% health. It is straight up better than the Mark of the Traveler. But it's also quite expensive, and it's not super like, you don't need it. So I'm pretty happy with that. And then if we look at Ancestor, there we go. Boom. So, the really good thing about Ancestor is the aura that it provides. I thought it used to have flat elemental damage as well. But it doesn't really matter. 100% elemental damage for your pets, in addition to 35% all damage for your pets, and 10% total speed. This is more than worth losing the Storm Puppy. So, unfortunately, Storm Puppy's gone, and we won't be seeing him again. Alright, there we go. So, now that I've done that, I'm going to go for a little bit of a run. I've got to go back to the correct rift instead of the wrong one that I just clicked on. So let's go Burridge Village. And we've got a little bit of running to do to get past all the stuff that isn't here anymore because I killed it on the way through. Actually, that's a lie. I killed it on the way through the first time. It's all back now. That's fine. Let's get back into the Gloomwald. And the hunt for Wendigos begins. So I'll show you a few good places to find hero Wendigos if you want to farm for this metal, and you kind of do. This metal will give you 2 additional skeletons. It's really, really good. You're not going to get affixes on it that you want. The chances of getting actually useful affixes is basically 0, and it's still going to be better than whatever you're wearing. So if you happen to be wearing a Kaiman's like I am, and you're going to lose Elemental, Bleeding, and Chaos, do it. Absolutely do it. No question. If you have to run around with a little bit less than capped resistances for a little while, just do it. It's going to be amazing. We're about to get a whole bunch of Chaos resistance from a Devotion. Here we go. This guy can drop it. Actually, all of these guys probably can drop it. This guy's somewhat likely to drop it. I was so excited for a second. There are more than one potential drop as well, so you're not always just going to get the one you want. Here we go. Older Emberclaw. We can maybe get one here. Maybe. Nope, not today. That's fine. Like I said, even if we don't get one here, these Wraiths also have a pet offhand. But even if we don't get a drop here, later, once we get a little more reputation with Barrowholm, we will be able to, again, really excited when I saw the Wendigo. We will be able to have the quest for the 3 hero Wendigos, and we will have 3 guaranteed every single time. We will get 3 drops of the Wendigo medals. Now, that's not 3 guaranteed drops of the one we need, because we only need one of, I think, is it 3 or is it 2? Anyway, there's a chance that it's not the one we want. Like, Alright. So this little section here, this is my favorite area in the game. In terms of farming for loot, this is, in my opinion, the best place in the game to get loot. You start here, you run around, you get a guaranteed 2 treasure troves, you get guaranteed 1, potentially, or I should say likely, 2 totems as well. It's really, really good. So here's my first treasure trove. You are guaranteed 1 outside, and you're guaranteed 1 inside. It's just a matter of finding it. So this is the first location. There is also 1 totem every single game. It could be here. There's 1, 2, 3, I think, locations where this one can spawn. And you're only going to get 1 of them, but you will get 1 of them every single game. So that's going to be nice. We also want to check just up here above this house, because is Pakla? There is Pakla here, and there is also, or there potentially is Pakla here. But you can also get Wendigo heroes here as well. And then just through here as well, you can get some. There's also occasionally wraiths, which if you're looking for the other pet offhand, they can drop it here. The only problem with the other pet offhand is it's more of a ritualist thing than a Cabalist thing. That's not to say you can't use it, but it's more for the primal spirit than the pets we have, so I would probably not use it even if someone gave it to me. Alright, can get heroes here as well. And you can get heroes in here, although they're almost always going to be cannibals rather than Wendigos. Let's go ahead and pick up Nane's stash here. This is going to give us a quest. And it's basically pick up this and unlock access to an Exalted Stash, which is a guaranteed blue or purple item. Alright, let's go into the cellar here. And we have a couple of things to point out here. First one is, there's a decent number of Wendigos in here, or at least there can be. You're not always going to get the Wendigos. Looks like we've got mostly cannibals here. But you can get Wendigos in here. You also have a treasure trove. It could be here. There are 2 locations it could be. This is one of them. There's also 2 locations the totem could be, and this is one of them. So no totem this time. No treasure trove over this side. But there will be a treasure trove in this area, and there will be a totem in the other cellar in this area. Or at least there should be. I have had a couple of times no totem in either. Avarice Marrowwill here. Avarice is a little bit scary. Avarice does a ton of damage. She's in an area with a bunch of healers. So let's go over here and kill these healers. And Avarice will heal, will get healed, and she's just generally a menace. So we're going to stay above half health and take her out. Wendigo Spirit, amazing drop. You definitely want to get your hands on one of those at least. We'll need it for a quest later. Although, again, if you take the other option and keep your Wendigo Spirit, then you do have the option to farm Ugdal for that Wraith offhand. Which, we're not playing a Ritualist, so it's not super great, but it is still useful. Okay, here's my treasure trove. If your treasure trove is not here, it will be here. There are only 2 spots it can be, and it will be in one of them, so there we go. Let's grab these. How about those gloves? What am I wearing? Perdition? I do like Battlecry, but I think I like Resistances better, especially since we're going to be ripping a couple of pieces off to wear whatever drops, and if we don't get good resistance rolls on whatever drops, we're just going to have to deal with it. So here we go. We've got a few Wendigos out here. These ones with the yellow names can drop the medals. but the heroes are much more likely to drop the medals. Alright, there's level 48. There's Parkless Skin, which if you're playing a Vitality Savagery, or apparently a Wendigo totem build, this is actually pretty good. Alright, level 48. 1, 2, and we are now maxing out Hellfire. So Hellfire is the Storm Spirit for the Hell Dog, the Hellhound. So this is going to give us fire damage, which, great, and chaos damage, which we can't unfortunately convert at the moment. And it will also give percentage fire damage for our pets, which is really, really nice. So we're going to max that, but we also want to max this, or I think it's 10 points, but something like that in here. This is going to give our pets and ourselves physical resistance, and basically mean we don't need to worry about poison damage, and neither will our pets. So this is really good. And then Bonds of Bismail is just a 1-pointer. This is just more health and apparently energy regen for our pets. Speaking of our pets, let's do a bit of a refresh. So yeah, that aura is really, really good. And that's kind of the phase we're in the building section of this character at the moment. We're in the get all of the auras online phase. Alright. Unsurprising to anybody, the tree golems are somewhat weak to fire. Who would have known? Also, more points in physique. So, having more points in spirit is probably not a horrible idea. We do want an offhand, a caster offhand for our second weapon. And we're going to get that in the city of Malmouth. Whether you choose to buy it from the merchant, which is going to take ages, or farm it, which is also going to take ages, whichever way you choose to go, it is definitely good. You can get silly bonuses to Hellhound from that book. Alright, this little section here can also be really good for Wendigo heroes. I'm going to do a little bit of poking around that I wouldn't normally do, because I do want to get my hands on that Wendigo medal. The medal itself is worth 2 skeletons. As soon as you put that on, you go from 8 max to 10 max. So we definitely want to get that as fast as we can. May even be worth resetting and running through this area a couple of times just until you've got it. Because the boost in damage, the boost in the power of the build is just crazy big. Just for having one, doesn't even matter what the affixes are. The monster infrequent item itself is enough. Alright, detonation site. This is the note from down here. If you don't have that note, you won't see this detonation site. You won't be able to blow it up. You won't be able to come in here, and you won't get Nane's stash. Which has given me the Bone Snap Gavel, which, yeah, it's whatever. It was a chance to maybe get something good. Turns out it didn't work, but that's fine. Okay, killing trees, kind of whatever. Don't remember it getting this dark in the forest before, but apparently it's quite dark. I'm not sure how this is going to look on the recording, but on my end it looks really, really nice, but also really, really dark. Alright, totem. This is the third location. The other spot it could have been is just here. So this is kind of, we'll call it Chaos Junction. This is where you can have, on Ultimate at least, you can have 7 heroes in this little section here. And then you kill them, and Chupacabra spawns. So you can have some crazy stuff there. What do we got here? Mark of Anguish Lies. No. Tempest of the Void. No. Oathbreaker. No. Watcher of the Frozen North. Also no. So that's 4 blue items from a totem. Totems are absolutely the best place in the game to get blue items. So if you're ever looking for blue items, like say you're playing a, I don't know, a Vitality caster Ritualist, and you want to get Curse Bearer for some reason, or Resistance Shredding perhaps, totems are the place to get it. Oh, also this is the other cellar in the area. If you didn't get your totem in the first one, it's most likely going to be in here. Not today. Okay. It would be right here. And same with Avarice. If you didn't see Avarice in the first one, she will be here. She only has 2 spots. This one seems like it has 3, but I don't know where the third one is. And Grimtools says they're on their own separate spawn, so that's not true. But anyway, if you didn't get a totem in the first cellar, you can get one in here. If you did get a totem in the first cellar, you will not get one in here. So I don't make the rules, I just think them up and write them down. Right, we are done with this section, so let's move on to Coven. And we can have a look at our future threads. One minor detour along the way, I guess. The Gloomwald is also a really good place for killing Wendigos. Or at least the second half. So we're going to get a decent number of them just here. Well, actually, these are cannibals. That's not okay. Don't give me cannibals, I want Wendigos. This is also a really good place to farm for Ugdenblooms, which, if you want to continue this build as a fire pet Cabalist at level 100, you're going to need to make yourself a conduit. And conduits are going to cost a lot of Ugdenblooms. They're going to cost a lot of everything, actually. I'm not going to show the farming loop this time for the Ugdenblooms. I'll probably run through it when we get to it in Ultimate. But for now, we're just going to get a little bit of a move on here. Hero plants or hero trees, not really what I'm after. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm still going to kill them, but I would rather have Wendigos. Alright, in we go, and we are here for Caraxus. Now, Caraxus is a giant crab, and we're going to boil him alive in his own shell. So, who's got the herb butter? Here he is, Caraxus fowl. And he's going to go down pretty quickly. Like, look at the damage. It's actually not that good yet. I'm going to pretend it's really good, though. Nobody told me it isn't. You know what? I don't need to clear this. There is sometimes a totem over here. You would be able to see it by the time you're killing Caraxus. So I'm just going to not go over there. I'm not going to fight these. I don't see any heroes there. It's just a couple of yellow crabs. So we'll leave them be. Back out into the Gloomwald. This is a trap. So this chest here, there's always a bunch of stuff that drags itself out of the ground when you click on it, which is always fun. And we've almost made it to the Coven. Okay, cult members have got to go. What is that? Conflagration? No, I don't think so. And these are all cannibals. They can stay in their little hotel in the middle of the Gloomwald. Here we go. We've got a Wendigo Flare. Wendigo Glare. So we got both of the metals that we don't need. And unfortunately I didn't get the one that I do need. So I will probably come back and run through here a few times until I get it. But for now we'll just push forward. So, like I said, we got the Wendigo Glare, which is the Shattering Smash and Blitz metal. And then we got the Wendigo Eye, which is Panetti's and Word of Pain. And we didn't get the one we want, which is the Wendigo Gaze, which is more skeletons. It's unfortunate, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. And here we go. We've made it to the Coven, which is also quite dark. Oh, I wonder if there's been an update, or if I just happened to be here at nighttime for the first time ever. This looks incredibly dark on my screen. Alright, let's vendor all this stuff, and we will show you some items here. So, the Coven Lifebinder Vestments. This chest here is required level 65. By the time we get to level 65, we will have the reputation required to wear this. So this has got Chaos Res for the pets. It's got +2 to raise skeletons, +2 to Call of the Grave, and some other kind of okay stats. We're not going to use the helmet. Does it even have a pet helmet? Yeah, there we go. Coven Tamer's Hood. We're not going to use that because we have a better helmet available to us, but the Coven Lifebinder Mantle is +2 to the Smelly Potato, and also +2 to raise skeletons. These two here we will be using at 65, and then if we go forward to the Revered stuff, now the two Coven Lifebinder items have +3 to the same skills, and basically number go up. So once we get to level 90, we're going to want to use those. For now, though, I kind of just want to sell a whole bunch of stuff. And unfortunately, didn't get the item that I wanted. Which is very disappointing. That's alright. It will almost always drop on the way through to Malmouth. It's just a matter of whether it's right near the start or it's going to be a little bit further on. Alright, there we go. Let's just do all this. Now we are unfortunately too low level to go into the Ancient Grove and get the Prismatic Diamond blueprint. But that's fine. We'll come back later and do that. So this is our Spirit Guide now. When you kill the Logorian in Act 4, the Spirit Guide in Devil's Crossing dies, basically. So you will be without a Spirit Guide until you either go to Forgotten Gods or get to here. Now, speaking of getting to here, we have a couple of chests here. This one has Trista's diary in it. Then if we come over this way, I think I saved Rugia or Ralia. Yep, so Ralia here. This is the witch we saved back in the Bloodmoor, or the Blood Grove, sorry, wrong game again. There we go, Coven of Ugdenbog. A little bit of reputation. Kind of free reputation for having a conversation. And then over here we have a hidden spoils chest. And a weathered chest here. This has got another lore note in it. And these are kind of a little bit spooky. If you want, you can pause and read those. Okay, Guardian Cyndia. We will find your missing sisters. And now we're out into the swamp. So there's a couple things we want to find here in the swamp. The first one is these basilisks. We want to kill the yellow named ones. They have a quest item. Once we get that, we can completely ignore them, aside from they're going to be in the way anyway. And the other thing I like to check in this little area here, here it is. This little section here, see this shape here on the map? Looks kind of like a foot. Like here's the big toe, here's the heel, here's the little toe. Someone's walking down. Just to the side of that is a rotting stump. So, free Ugdenbloom. Which I love to get, because Ugdenblooms, like I said, if you're going to do any kind of crafting at the end game, and you will, you're going to need a lot of them. Alright, Janaxia's Den just here, which we're going to go in, and we're going to say hi to Janaxia. This is also a good place to farm wraiths if you happen to want the offhand. I was going to say I've never seen them drop it here, but turns out I have now. There we go. +3 erase skeletons, -1 second skill recharge. And this doesn't have any pet affixes on it at all, so you also get offensive ability and all damage on that one. I'm not going to wear that, but it's going to be nice to sell. A couple of Wendigos here. There can also be a totem just over here, so we can get decent drops there. And then just here we have a hidden hole in the wall with, where is it? Hidden spoils. There we go. So 2 rare items that I'm going to turn into bits. But you could maybe get something nice. Maybe you get a blue drop or something. Here's Janaxia. There's Janaxia. And we basically just kill her. And by kill her, I mean loot the place while the pets kill her. Storm Scion, no. It's an offhand. And the Praetorian Shoulder Guards, also no. And she's dropped the Lightning Sword. Which, I think it's a totem, lightning totem sword. Yeah, +1 storm totem. Anyway, unfortunately, no good drops in here. But that's fine. Janaxia is the target of one of the Coven quests, so if we do her on the way through, phrasing, then we don't have to come back later when we get the quest. Alright. This is a lot of Wendigos, which I love to see, because they owe me a medal. Apparently they're not paying up today. That's fine. We'll just continue heading north. This section here can have some hero Wendigos as well. And once we get the quest for the 3 named Wendigos, there'll be one of them just here somewhere. Fairly reliably. Not there yet, unfortunately, but that'll be fine. Alright, continue heading north here. Obviously hit these every time you see them, because the more the merrier. And when you get to this point, you have a choice. Because this little section here... is it here? Or is it in the next bit? Maybe it's not quite here. But there is an optional semi-hidden boss that's hiding behind a dynamite site. And he's kind of scary, but he does have a pair of shoulders with a whole bunch of pet affixes, or pet stats on them. It's the lesser-known brother to the Logorian, and the fight is kind of difficult, so I am going to skip it, because I know that the shoulders from the Coven are going to be quite good. Yeah, it is here. So here's the dynamite site, and you can go in there. Let's actually blow the barricade up. On Ultimate, there is a devotion shrine in here. But here we go, we've got some Slith. And this is basically what would happen if the Slith created the Logorian, I guess. So just here, on Ultimate, there is a devotion shrine. And I'll go over here and kind of show you the arena. But I'm not going in, because I don't want to die. So here's the door. There is a boss behind it. It's basically the Logorian. You can see the tentacles here. The loot is on that middle island. Here we go. We'll pop the door open. Like I said, I'm not going in there. But you can see there's a waterlog chest, which is locked by a powerful presence. If you choose to do that fight, and if you're on softcore, absolutely go do it. It's a good fun fight, but you should probably expect to die a couple of times. I stay away from that while I'm leveling. Even if he does actually have some shoulders that are really good for a pet build. He can keep them. Those are his shoulders. Alright, here we go. Back on the track. Heading north. I think the next thing of note that we're going to find is the rift for the Ugdenbog. Don't quote me on that, but I believe that is true. Level 49, which, you know what that means. We just got 60% health for our pets. That's going to help survival. And it's actually... I really want Aspect of the Guardian. You know what? We're getting Aspect of the Guardian first. And we need to resummon the doggo. So Aspect of the Guardian, this is physical resistance for you and your pets. It's poison resistance for you and your pets. It's really, really, really good. Even if that was all it did, and it basically is for this build. But even if that was all that it did, it would still be an amazing button. Or an amazing addition to an already godly button. Having said that, Pneumatic Burst and Word of Healing are kind of the same thing, just with slightly different effects as well, so they're all really good buttons. We don't have to go in there just yet, we don't have the quest for it, and she's not going to be home at this point. Or at least we won't be able to do the quest just yet. This cave entrance, however, we do have to go in here. And this is another one of my least favorite areas in the game. Anyone who's watched a few of my series now has heard me whinge about this place several times. But I'm just going to get through it. There is a guaranteed exalted chest in here, which I will be hitting because it is always 100% of the time in the same spot. Let's just kill these plants off. We'll pop the shrine. I was hoping for Wendigos because you can get Wendigos from the shrines, or the totems, sorry. Didn't get Wendigos, unfortunately. See this little plant here that's flailing around, whacking my boys? These are the reasons why I hate this area, because you can see the game doesn't register it as part of the wall. So it tries to just walk through it, but you can't because it's big and ugly and in the way. That's the reason why I hate this zone, is those plants. Alright. Have a quick look at the loot. Okay, from here on in, I don't really care about killing any of this stuff. I'll kill some of it by accident just because pet build. But it's kind of whatever. If it dies, great. If it doesn't, who cares? we just get through here. Because of the location of the entry on the outside, I don't care if the way back is full of monsters, because I'm not going to take that exit. I'm not going to walk back. I'm going to rift out. Alright, boss dead. This one's not particularly difficult. You can go around, there's a whole bunch of bodies and bones and stuff around the edge. But I just want out of this area. I don't enjoy it at all. Okay, blueprints to eat. And the rest of that gear, we can pretty much ignore it. Yeah. So, this is much shorter of a run than actually running out from the boss room, especially because there's a whole bunch of enemies in the way. So this is my preferred way. If your door is not there, it has, I think, 3, maybe 4 different locations where it could be. So if your door is not there, it's almost always going to be faster to run out. But because the door was where it was for me, I chose to rift out rather than walking. Alright, I'll go back and pick it up. Someone will yell at me if I don't. Okay, so second half of the Ugdenbog. Kind of consider the rift back there to be kind of the halfway point. What we're here for is the Silvaria in the undergrowth, which I just did. And we're also here for Ugdal, who is coming up. And if you didn't find the door to Silvaria where you did, or where I did, you want to hug this right-hand side here, and there'll be another 1, maybe 2 doors for Silvaria along here somewhere. I want to say the first one is here. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's there. And there may be a second one up here. I can never remember if it's 1 or 2 along here. The other thing you can do is go to grimtools.com/map, and you will be able to see exactly where the spawn points are, without having to have some clueless Aussie talking at you and saying, oh, I think it's here, I'm not really sure, but yeah, I think that's the case. Alright, these ruins here, lots of wraiths around them, which if you're looking for that pet offhand I was talking about, do I still have one? Yeah, if you're looking for the bound wraith, you can find one out there from those wraiths. But what we're here for is this devotion shrine, which is going to let us start, and by start I mean put 2 points into Empty Throne. Pierce resistance for your pets is kind of hard to get, so this is really, really nice. And then the first node is kind of whatever. But these two are the ones that are really nice. Chaos and Aether res, reduce freeze and stun duration. Those are really nice. Also, we kind of want that devotion for the purple points. Okay, so I have a Wendigo spirit somewhere in here, I think. Maybe I banked it. That's fine. If I banked it, I may have to go get it. I can't remember if this pulls from the stash. I think it does. Don't forget your lore note just here. Now, your choice here is basically let him go or kill him. So are you trapped here? And I will help you. I'm just going to let him go. I don't actually have it on me. I should have killed him. Now I'm going to have to go get it. Okay, hang on. Hold that thought. I'll be right back. If you don't have a Wendigo spirit on you, don't stress about it. You can, or if you don't have one at all, rather. Apparently I have 3. These are available as a quest reward from one of the Coven missions. So you will be able to get one that way. It is guaranteed reward, so you will get one. You just have to wait a little while, and you may have to come back. Fortunately, I have 3, actually, on me. So, here's the spirit you seek, and rest in peace, Ugdal. So the reward was basically reputation with the Coven. I will say, if you choose to just kill him instead of going and getting a Wendigo spirit, you don't really lose anything. Coven reputation, if we just go here to the Coven of Ugdenbog, killing beasts. Beasts are everywhere, and you kill them in droves. 250 reputation with the Coven is going to go by so fast you won't even notice it. So if you choose to kill him instead, Don't stress about it. It's no big deal. Alright, I'm just coming down here for the shrine and also for the witches. I often forget to get these witches. Fortunately, this time there was the totem, which reminded me that they were down here. Wendigo Barb, that's not what I want. Don't any of you have a Wendigo Gaze? Not even one? Alright. Fingers crossed we get Wendigos here. We did not get Wendigos here. That's fine. We'll get some loot. We get all of our pets melting in the Aether pools. That's fine. We just resummon. Okay, we got Wrathbringer, which is a two-handed gun. Do you mind? You know what? Let's just grab all this and get out of the poison. Keep the pets kind of healthy as much as I can. This will follow you around. This is like the Aether tornadoes in Port Valbury. But it's even more annoying because it makes noise. Actually, I think the Aether tornadoes in Valbury make noise too. Anyway, this is definitely irritating. Okay. Venom Gaze Bile. Lovely. That was from the Venom... Why is there two of them now? That was from the Basilisks, so we've got that quest item now. If you get two to drop, you can bank one of them and come back and pick up the second one, and then you don't have to look for it in Ultimate. Honestly, though, it doesn't really matter. It's not hard to find. Okay, this stump here, if you haven't found your undergrowth entrance, could be here. So go ahead and check there if you need it still. And otherwise, we are just going to duck over here because there's usually some Wendigos on this little island. Nope, got Wraiths this time. RIP. That's fine. Okay, here we go. We have made it to Barrowholm. And I am going to end the episode right here at this rift gate. I'm going to go back and kill a few Wendigos. I'm going to recommend at this point, before having actually done it, that you kill the Wendigos in the Gloomwald. Run through that farming section I showed you at the start. It's probably going to be your best bet. But I'm going to farm a Wendigo Gaze in between episodes, and I'll show you the one I got when we come back. It's not going to be amazing. I'm not going to keep farming until I find pet affixes. I'm just going to take literally the first one that drops because they are quite rare, and that'll do. So anyway, like I said, that's going to be the end of this episode. So thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and goodbye for now.